All right, so I actually recorded this video, but I made a discovery in the very end of it that is very important when it comes to the global Dokkan campaign that I need to talk about it at the very beginning because of how massive it is. And as you see by the title, there is very likely a brand new Dokkan Fest LR or Carnival LR, whatever it's going to be releasing during this campaign. Which, again, it's a bit crazy. Let me refresh it because I don't know. It's showing me not following Pearl China, but I'm following the GOAT, guys. I swear, I promise I'm following the GOAT. But the biggest point of that video when I first made it was that there's a bunch of IDs missing, right? The ratios between the two are 7 out of 7 and 14 out of 9, or whatever, kind of the number is. And essentially, it just gives us hints to a bunch of different, awakenings and LR, of, LRs, TURs, things like that. I focused on the EZAs because that was the most important thing here. But then obviously at the end, Proton does state there are 3 kind of remaining things that would be interesting, which would be either another LR EZA or 3 super EZAs, and we'll talk about all these at the end of the video, and a new LR and TUR. Now, I was looking at this. A lot of people on the timeline were saying TUR banner unit character, and then or a TUR Dokkan Fest, and then a free-to-play LR. A lot of people are saying again, I'm gonna go in here in these comments here. A lot of people were saying Super Saiyan 4 Mini Goku TUR with a free-to-play LR Goma, and I was like, yeah, it makes sense, but I don't really see them releasing Goma as a free-to-play LR from the get-go. I think they would at least give him some sort of Dokkan event or something, right? And I was talking about, hey, imagine if the LR is Super Saiyan 4 Goku, and then the TUR is a Dokkan Fest TUR Goma on the same banner. And I was kind of just shooting my thought out there, because I was like, that would be kind of interesting, right? And with the new LR coming, I was like, let me check something, right? If we would theoretically say a new LR was on the way, I want to check this. So I went here to the Dokkan Festival 10th Anniversary and Carnival coins. And I also brought up the Dokkan Festival Global Carnival coins, right? And the Dokkan Fest coins. If we go all the way down here, we're able to see at the very end characters who are available to exchange. Then they talk about the 2 Dokkan Festivals and the 4 Carnival LRs. And they state, please note that you can only exchange for the same character once. Then they go down to regarding Baba Shop, blah, 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 right? And that's the end of that. Nothing really important. But that's where we get to the importance of this one right here. If we scroll down, we see again, Blue Goku and Omega are here, Rose and Gogeta are here. But they do mention all 4 of these. And they also say more characters will become available for exchange as the summon events are released during the campaign period. I made that discovery in the middle of the video. I was like, no one noticed this. I actually might be the first kind of, I don't know, I'm sure someone might have read it in the news for sure, but I think it's not a common main idea in the timeline, right? We all kind of expected a new banner could be coming out around the 8th. So a lot of us were thinking maybe it'd be just a TUR banner. Looks like it's going to be a Dokkan Festival or a Carnival LR, and I'm gonna assume it'll be a Dokkan Festival LR. I don't think that they would drop a Carnival LR separate, by itself like that. Without a Dokkan Fest to pair with it, essentially. I mean, again, it could be a Carnival LR, but I think a Dokkan Fest LR makes the most sense. And I think it's gonna be Daima, that's my guess. Again, Daima, go, blah, blah, blah. We know Super Saiyan 3, Daima Vegeta is scheduled to return. We already had the Super Saiyan Broly trio and the Int Broly from last year's Worldwide return. And they were stated in the same news notice that they're all going to return, and that was in relation to I think it was, I don't think the banner is here. It is the summer festival kind of banner. This one right here. Daima Vegeta and then the Super Saiyan trio and Broly were scheduled to return. They stated that they're coming back. These are on the anniversary banners, and this guy isn't. So that's why we were thinking an EX Daima part potentially. But it should be an LR because of 2 reasons. One, the exchange characters in here are 500 Dokkan Festival coins, right? And Carnival coins. These are 500. And I don't think that they would add a TUR here because a TUR is usually about 200 coins for the pity coins. It just wouldn't make sense to me in that regard. And secondly, this is from the EX part. Super Saiyan 3 Daima Vegeta actually did not get added to this exchange here. He had his very own pity, and again, let me bring up to like, I don't know, 38 or so. There's the countdown, so we kind of skip a little farther past here. But we are able to see what Daima Vegeta, again on his banner, that he does indeed have his own pity coins, which were the limited coins. But them stating that they're going to add a character here, a TUR would have their own limited coins because it's their own system. So it should be an LR character. I'm thinking a Dokkan Festival LR. So again, an LR is, I would say 90%. I'm pretty confident that who knows what it could be. They're experimenting, but they wouldn't state more characters will become available if there weren't more characters coming. Like, it doesn't make sense, right? So they're adding an LR to this list, which is, again, pretty exciting. And I did go ahead and make this post here, or where is it? We'll cover that one later. Again, I kind of made this tweet here. We'll take a look at some of the replies and stuff, and I gave kind of my idea again. Based on this tweet, there are signs for an upcoming LRTUR. I talked about this in the EX part video, but like I said earlier, the 8th is when we do expect that to be happening, and I brought up Vegeta's kind of own thing here. So let's see some of the replies. So we might not be able to use the pity coins for part 1 and part 2 for the new character on the 8th. Yeah, essentially. So you can build up pity coins for this LR ahead of time, or whatever character is going to be added to this. The pity coins will be able to be used on that banner. So if you haven't used your coins, it could be a good idea to wait and see who's the next character. Really, really think about it. They brought out Gogeta here, so I'm sure many people got Gogeta with their coins if they had it available. But this also means that on that banner, you could summon and get coins to get Super Saiyan 4 Carnival Gogeta, or the blue Goku and Vegeta, or Rose, whoever you want. There's just going to be another banner to summon on where there's more coins. The coin collection kind of time frame will be extended beyond what we're thinking, so that's really cool. Getting spooky might save all the stones we get from now just in case. I think that's a good idea to save your stones for this. If they actually do drop another LR surprise to help they give us more tickets to do another 44% chance, and then ooh, imagine if they drop another 50 tickets for a 44% chance. I would save your tickets just in case. I think it's just going to be those 4 banners potentially. Because, like, it's not like they stated in the ticket news that there would be another banner coming, right? They stated just the 4 banners, like, in the part 2. They stated, like, the part 1 and part 2 characters would become available. They didn't say anything about, there's going to be another few characters upcoming potentially, or there's going to be someone added to your account. It would be in the campaign information, but you guys kind of get my point when it comes to that. Yeah, like, okay, let's see here. Yeah, again, so they state here, they don't state that any other banners will be available. They do state that, again, constant and dates are expected to change, but I would assume these tickets are only for these 4 banners anyways. If you want to save them to be safe, you can. Maybe we'll get special tickets for that banner, or, you know, something could happen. We'll see. But yeah, okay. I think this would be really cool. They're going to make me regret pitying Omega. I mean, I also pitied Omega, so that's funny. We're in dangerous territory if he thinks what it means. I think it's Daima Super Saiyan 4 Goku. I also do think that it is Daima Super Saiyan 4 Goku. Like, that makes a ton of sense to me to see Daima Super Saiyan 4 in here. Part EXLR to be released, yeah, again. I think it's going to be Mini. And Annie was doubtful, because the only time in history we got an extra summonable units, he had his own pity coins. But again, yeah, he should use his own, he should use these new kind of coin, or the existing coins, so. Yeah, that's... Again, I definitely didn't expect to make this discovery, but, let me know what you guys are thinking. Again, my guess is, I would assume it would be, I'm going to assume it's a TUR banner unit, rather than a TUR, like, character. Let me actually also make a tweet. Who do you think this could be? who do y'all want to see if we do get a new? And then just like thinking emoji, right? We're gonna put the thinking emoji in here. New DFB outlaw. And I'm sure we'll get a lot of options about Daimo Vegeta. I think some people are saying baby as well. So, okay. And there's actually my other tweet that I need to bring up. Actually, I don't know if I want to view the quotes there, because you never know. Twitter is a bit of a dangerous place sometimes. Let's see. I'm gonna ask you guys. Like, there is one other thing to talk about still when it comes to these IDs. Besides the big news, there's also the TUR EZA and the LR EZA options. So what I'm probably going to do is I'm actually gonna put the section of my original recording on the second half of the video so that you guys do have that, because I make some really good points and I kind of like want to keep those points in there. So that's what we're gonna do. But let me know what you guys are thinking when it comes to the new LR. I hope you enjoyed the rest of the video. It'll still be me. It'll just gonna be like ask me. It's a little weird, but you know, it's fine. And I'll catch you guys next time. Peace out. Alright, y'all. So Pro 10 did go ahead and make a post about character IDs again. And with this, we have some pretty interesting, I guess, news about upcoming content, and specifically in terms of like awakenings. So like EZAs, Super EZAs, things like that. And again, we'll just go ahead and read Proton's tweet and talk about what exactly this means, just for, again, the rest of the global Dokkan celebration. So after the latest data download, we did have 2 ID gaps between the 2 tables. The ID ratios between the two are 7 out of 7, and then 14 out of 9, or like a 7/7, 14/9, whatever the case is, right? To Proton, upon like kind of putting things together and trying to see like how things match up with other characters, it seems like this is going to be a very obvious TUR EZA, a very possible LR EZA, and then the only other thing that explains the remaining ratio of the IDs would be either another LR EZA or 3 Super EZAs, and then a new LR and TUR. So once you add everything up together, you'll see that those are basically the remaining spots that are left in terms of what we could see for any future like EZAs and things like that. And again, it does make a lot of sense when it comes to like those awakening steps, right? So with everything put together here, that's kind of what we could guesstimate for future releases. And the reason why LR EZAs or could be 3 Super EZAs is because an LR EZA is 3 steps, but Super EZAs are always just 1 awakening step, right? So that's why in 1 LR EZA you could have 3 Super EZAs. Theoretically, in 7 ID awakenings you could have 7 Super EZAs, but they don't usually like push out 7 at once, right? So when you see like 7 IDs, it is likely a case of like, you know, it's actually going to be a 7-step awakening, or an EZA is kind of what we usually see in that. I guess it could also be like 2 LR EZAs, 1 Super EZA, right? It depends, but basically from what we know, I think it's very obvious of what these 2 characters are going to be. And that is going to be, in my opinion, Int Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, who is featured on the Omega Shenron banner, and then LR Vegeta and Trunks, who are featured on the Goku and Vegeta banner. Again, this makes just a ton of sense to me. I mean, if you take a look at the banners that are available, I kind of have to go back. It makes sense why a lot of these characters are actually featured here, like with Omega's banner, Omega and Pan, obviously. These are basically just returning Dokkan Fest, LRs, stuff like that. Then Buhan is here, and Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta is here. Usually they put like characters that would Extreme Z Awakening on these banners, and this guy kind of just stands out, obviously. He is the 2nd oldest Dokkan Fest character without an Extreme Z Awakening. Makes a lot of sense to me for him to get his EZA at this point. I mean, people have been asking for this guy's EZA for a very long time, and this is literally a perfect time for his Extreme Z Awakening. We'll see what he's able to do. I think, again, always been very obvious this guy will EZA, so I'm not really going to touch on it too much. The Vegeta and Trunks. We also were thinking Vegeta and Trunks would get an EZA. We saw Int Fusions Zamasu get an Awakening, so it would make a lot of sense for the Part 1 LR of that celebration, which is the Vegeta Trunks LR, to also get an Extreme Z Awakening just lots of things that make sense in that regard. And then of course, you know, he is on the spanner. Like every character here again has a reason to be on the spanner. I guess Blue Goku and Vegeta and Fusion Zamasu also stick out a little, but there are 2023 characters I don't expect them to EZA this year, unfortunately. In another celebration, I think like 12th anniversary is probably where they're going to EZA, which is very funny and crazy to say like this far out, but usually they do these worldwide EZAs during the actual anniversary, so I expect like next anniversary we'll see like the cooler EZAs probably, or at least like one half of either part 1 or part 2, and then I think during the anniversary after we'll see like the worldwide celebration 2023 characters get their awakenings, right? So all that being said, that kind of explains the, again, obvious TUR EZA and a possible LR EZA. Again, I think it's going to be these two. I don't really think there's a guess for anything beyond that. Now, again, the guesses for these extra ADs is interesting because a new LR and TUR would be, again, just a brand new character. It would just be an awakening, right? It wouldn't be like, oh, here's a, what's it called? Like, here's another, like, EZA or something like that. This is new releases, so this is hinting towards the next character drop that we will be getting. Now, I mean, will they drop another LR with a banner unit, or part 3 of the Global Dokkan Celebration? Because again, we talked about that EX part / part 3 is coming. The banner is gonna drop on the 8th. We know that. We'll start seeing teasers about it next week probably. It could be a TUR character, and then we have like a free-to-play LR release, but I would say it's not impossible to consider the fact it could be a Dokkan Fest LR with the TUR banner unit character. Lots of possibilities, right? It could also be, again, like I said, a Dokkan Fest TUR, but like the thing that sticks out to me is that if this is for the next release, then it wouldn't make sense for it to be a TUR, because unless they, I mean, they don't have to introduce it with a banner unit, I guess. It could be like just the Dokkan Fest. Unless it's like Daima or something, though, I don't really see that kind of happening. I mean, it could very well be Daima. So, anyways, let's just take a look at some of the replies here, what some people are thinking. Again, I do have some other guesses for the other EZA slots, but, you know, at this point, I'm gonna let the people talk. There could be some very interesting ideas in here, so let's take a look here. So, right here, LR Vegeta Trunks, LR Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, very obvious. And then these three right here, again, also make a lot of sense to me. The Super EZAs for Blue Vegeta, Sword of Hope Trunks, and Corrupted Zamasu. It was very odd that, you know, when we look at Future Saga specifically, they kind of just held off on those characters. Future Saga is like the first category here, because we got Rose Goku Black and the Vegeta Blue, but again, Sword of Hope Trunks, Blue Vegeta, and Fusion Zamasu Tech kind of all don't have like awakenings yet, and I think these guys would be really good awakenings right now. This Blue Vegeta could be really good in like Goku Black Zamasu fight, right? This Sword of Hope Trunks is like a New King type character, I guess, but again, we've seen like how good Int Buhan became. Like, imagine this guy like an Int Buhan level awakening. This guy could also be really good if they make him lower all enemies attack as well, just another attack debuffer. Another option for the Zamasu team, like it would be again Fusion Zamasu, we have the Int one, but this guy could be better in different situations, right? Sort of Hope Trunks could be really good. And I think this Blue Vegeta could also be just also really good. There's also the fact that the Trunks portion of the or the Vegeta portion of the exchange Goku and Vegeta has the Trunks support. I think that would obviously count for the Vegeta and Trunks LR that's coming out, but this guy could also benefit from that. And in terms of Future Saga, like it's a nice team, but you definitely want just a little, right? Like we have Blue Goku, Rose Goku Black, then 3 Super EZAs, the clones, like Extreme Class, like Future Saga is in a nice spot, but like getting another option will always be helpful, very much so. And then obviously Superclass Future Saga has even less. Realistically, you have the Blue Goku and the Vegeta, Vegeta Blue, right? So imagine Vegeta Trunks getting an awakening. Imagine Sword of Hope Trunks and this Blue Vegeta like all getting Super EZAs / EZAs, and all being very good. I think that would be awesome. I think that'd be kind of a nice little amount of like extra options. My personal opinion, they should have just awakened them in part 1, because there's kind of like a dry week in part 1 where we had just Infusion Zamasu EZA, but then now things are looking pretty good. Last week we did have obviously the Gogeta and Omega release with some content. This week we're getting 10 EZAs, new difficult stages. There's tons of things coming out this week. And then the week after, I mean, we could see more EZAs, and we could see a new like character drop at the 8th, right? So again, I think those characters just make a lot of sense to me, like these 3 Getting Awakenings. So I think I already did make videos for most of them, but I might kind of make some like speculation videos for them as well. If I didn't, I don't think I did make them for any of those 3. So we definitely will. I'll make some videos kind of speculating on them. Part EX TUR Mini Super Saiyan 4 Goku or Super Baby 2. Then a Prime Battle Goma or Prime Battle Super Baby. So, Prime Battle Super Baby with the possessed Trunks, Gohan, and Goten, and Bulma. That'd be cool. Like kind of like the Legion of Shadow Dragons, but Super Baby version of that. With the Super Baby 2 Dokkan Fest. That'd be really nice. I mean, people are saying TUR. I don't know. I'm thinking it's going to be like an Lr drop, actually. It just, I don't know. I mean, like them dropping a TUR without a banner, you know, I think it makes sense for Daima. But would they drop Prime Battle Goma? I think they would still give him a Dokkan Fest somewhere. Obviously not an exciting one for many people, but I would assume he would still get a Dokkan Fest, right? I would assume he would get a banner character, right? It just makes a lot of sense to me as still a new character in the series. They could give him a Prime Battle, but I'm not really too sure in that. But again, we do know that Super Saiyan 3 Daima Vegeta is returning. So if I was going to say between Super Baby 2 and Mini Super Saiyan 4 Goku, I'm going to guess Mini Super Saiyan 4 Goku. Makes the most sense to me personally. Okay, so we have here again the EZAs. These are all the characters we talked about and guessed already. Again, I think these 5 characters getting awakenings is my, like, I would lock this in as my prediction personally. And these are all helpful characters, really good. Luckily, Super Saiyan 4 and the new Super Saiyan 4 Lr Gogeta could be slot 1. So this guy could be like a nice little slot 3 character at the bare minimum, a very safe slot 3 option. He's always really good to have. This character will be really good. I hope that they extend their viability to past slot 1. Because we do have Blue Goku kind of wants to stay in slot 1. Like this character has a slot 2 or 3 viable characters will be nice. And they do... Do they have buffs in slot 2 or slot 3? I forget. No, they don't. So, like, you know, maybe as the second attacker, they get attack and defense when attacking. And then, like, another additional or something. Could be interesting. But yeah. Then, Mini Super Saiyan 4 Goku and Goma. So, I don't know about these two. Like, in terms of, like, dropping together right now. I don't think that would happen. Because, again, it would be like... Goku would be the Dokkan Fest, right? And it would be like a Dokkan Fest TUR, I guess, and with an Lr Goma, or... Because, like, I have, like, a free-to-play Lr Goma. Or it could be LR Super Saiyan 4 Goku with a TUR Goma banner in it, which would be very funny. I mean, theoretically, I mean, they've done this before. Imagine if Goma is a Dokkan Fest on the banner, and he drops on the same banner with Super Saiyan 4 Goku, who's an LR. Because again, we've seen that kind of stuff happen before. Just not on the scale, like, okay, I'm trying to find the Gammas. Gamma 1 and 2, that literally is what happened to them. I'm gonna just look up Gamma. Where they dropped together, and again, they're it was a superhero kind of... It was a little different because it was superheroes, right? But, I mean, man, this is not going to bring up their banner. I have to look up on the global version, but would I be shocked if they would do that? Like, they give Goma a Dokkan Fest and they make him a Dokkan Fest, but he's just an extra character on the banner? Because, will they drop Goma with his own banner? I think it's, like... I could see why people are saying like an LR for Goma because of that. I keep clicking the wrong button. Because it's like dropping a Goma banner, he's gonna make like $2, right? He's gonna make like $2, dude. But if they drop them together in a banner, oh, that makes a lot of sense to me. Like imagine mini Super Saiyan 4 Goku LR, Goma banner unit, or Goma like a Dokkan Fest, kind of dropping as a second character. Super Saiyan 3 Daima Vegeta would return. Let's assume, I don't know, some other banner units could, you know, be on there. I'm not sure who they would put on the banner. But, I mean, that's not like a... I think that'd be pretty good. I would like that. It would be a 10 featured unit banner. The other thing is, like, what would be crazy is if they would add Goku to like the coins. Like imagine people spent their coins. Like I spent my coins for a mega. Like imagine, would it be an other or it would be in here? Like imagine people spent their pity coins, and then they add another banner to this because I don't think they don't specifically like mention like there won't be any other kind of characters, right? Let me see here. Because obviously Gogeta and Omega weren't in here before. Again, more characters will become available for exchange as new summon events are released. Let me... Wait a minute. Was that in the anniversary one? Hold up, wait, let me find it. Okay. No one noticed this? Am I the first person to read this? All right. Well, okay. It's gonna be Dokkan Fest LR, I think. More characters will become available for exchange as new summon. They confirmed it in the news, and no one saw it. All right then. So that is definitely something that, because this is the part 2. This has all 6 of the LRs, and they're like, okay, it's good. But they covered themselves. They covered their asses. So it's not going to be a TUR because Vegeta wasn't added here. So we know it's going to be a Dokkan Fest LR or a Carnival LR. It could be Carnival LR, but like I would expect a Dokkan Fest LR. And then like a Dokkan Festival TUR or like Goma. Imagine Dokkan Fest TUR Goma or like a banner unit. That's pretty cool. Okay. 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 Again, we're seeing a bunch of the same answers, but okay. I'm probably gonna make a separate video talking about that. DFP Baby, Yellow Coin LR. It's gotta be an LR because it's 500 coins. So we will be talking about this. I will be making a tweet. So I appreciate y'all for watching, and I'll catch you guys next time. Peace out.